Hi there, we're back for part 4 of Overall Advance. By 2002, China passed the U.S. as the most favored destination for foreign direct investment. 60% of foreign direct investment came from Greater China sources, Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan. Microsoft invested 80 million US dollars in a Chinese research institute intended to make additional investments to create a Microsoft Asian Technology Center. In 2003, China created the State Asset Supervision and Administration Commission to assume ownership of 196 of the largest state-owned enterprises. In 2012, 45 corporations on the Global Fortune 500 list were owned by this entity, SASAC, with assets totaling US 4.5 trillion. Powerful China central government enterprises maintained in natural resources, energy, communication, infrastructure, and defense. China established a system of structured competition among state-owned enterprises. In the airline industry, 3 large airlines, Air China, China Eastern, and China Southern, were all centrally owned by SASAC. Despite pockets of state monopolies and local trade barriers, intense competition pervaded everyday economic life. Rise of new industry leaders caused China to grow into one of the most dynamic economies in the world. Alibaba, kind of like Amazon, online trade, Wanxiang auto parts, Haier home appliances, Tencent was the internet. Over-reliance of China's development on growth and investment created major macroeconomic imbalances. Allocation of capital to large industry limited job growth and depressed household consumption. After China joined the WTO, questions arose concerning the long-term sustainability of its economic development. After Hu Jintao became the China Communist Party General Secretary in 2002, social justice issues received greater attention. Here is Hu Jintao, he's now 79 years old, and Wen Jiabao, who is now 79 years old, both born in 1942. The second term of the Hu Wen administration, 2007 to 2012, saw government regulations to redress problems of the previous 30 years of high but unequal economic growth. The Hu Wen new policies emphasize sustainable and equitable growth. Specific measures, subsidies for agriculture, social welfare programs, tax cuts, minimum wage increases, and more spending to alleviate poverty. The new socialist countryside was to connect all villages by tar roads, paved roads, provide health insurance for all farmers by 2020, extend minimum living allowances from the cities, and to improve agricultural mechanization. In 2006, agricultural taxes were abolished to improve the economic situation in the countryside. China introduced a national health care system, ensuring 95% of its citizens, although many workers fell through the cracks. The top level of health care was similar to that available in developed countries, but lower tier was more like developing countries. China began an extraordinary expansion of its higher education system. China's universities moved towards internationalization to improve research quality. In 2017, 27.5 million students attended the Institution of Higher Learning in China. China began to turn out more PhDs each year than any other country in the world. Rapid growth accomplished through industrialization, urbanization, and a vast migration of low-skilled labor from the countryside to coastal cities. Problems of surging labor and energy costs were eroding its competitiveness in manufacturing toward the end of Hu Jintao's presidency. Manufacturers' wages almost tripled from $4.35 an hour in 2004 to $12.47 an hour in 2015. China needed to wean itself from dependence on export-driven high growth. China needed to find a more sustainable model based on domestic demand and technological innovation. And that takes us to the end of Overall Advance.